Action. We are recording. So, everybody, welcome back to another podcast here at VICI Strength. We have a little bit of a rebrand going here on the podcast. We're going to call this "Welcome to the Conqueror Room." Right? This is the Conqueror's room. This is where we sit down with the people who are kicking ass, and I just so happen to be in their corner helping them while they do it in certain areas. So, this is a podcast where I sit down with everybody that I coach, and just deep dive into their situation, their training, their past, their current, their future, how things have been at VICI, and just find out more about them. So to start off, we have no other than the Causeway G Bum, Mr. Gary Allen. Welcome to the show, bro. Thanks for coming on.
Great to be in the Conqueror's room.
Wait, great to be on the Conqueror's room, man. It has a ring to it, doesn't it? Like everything is Conqueror now.
Oh, yeah. I'm here for it.
It has a deep out meaning now. Like, so, structure of this is honestly, it's just talking shite really for a couple 15, 20 minutes or so. We're going to start off. We're going to talk a little bit about like your backstory, a little bit about what's currently going on, touch on a little bit of VICI stuff, and then your future things that are going on. Inside and outside of kind of professional, not just your training, can be like work related, whatever it is. I want this to just be like a really open-ended convo. So I suppose first thing is a bit of an introduction. Know what I mean? Everybody, I can guarantee everybody already knows you, right? But bit of an intro for those that don't.
Well, Gary Allen, Gaz Lifts Online. I have been in the fitness realm as of maybe 10 years now? Probably. A wee bit more.
You'd be breaking 10 years, like, yeah.
Yeah. Me and Dean first met each other through a clothing brand called Fit and Fitness back in the day, which later rebranded to One Fit. I've met some of the best people in my life through that brand. And it's pretty cool how everything has came just full circle to today. So been coaching as of about 2018. 4 bodybuilding competitions in the books, one of them being with Dean, and 2 powerlifting competitions in the books. Also got good experience coaching both bodybuilding and powerlifting. Learned a lot of things from the main man here. So I
don't feel I've earned that main man title, man. Like, I'm sitting down with the main man. Everybody knows this.
You've been working up the ranks.
Yeah, you know where people are like on social media, people are like, oh, here, like, what's the most like alpha thing you can get called? It's like boss. What's happening, boss? It's like, nah, main man's the one, like, one of the, you know what I mean? Yeah. That hits different. Yeah, man. So, first things first, we're going to talk a little bit about like before you came on board with me and just like, before we started working together, what was going on in training? What did that look like? What was maybe doing your head in at the time? Like, what kind of, how were things going? What led to that position?
Yeah, so I had competed. I basically started in bodybuilding. Competed 3 times on my own, just coaching myself, and did a decent job, to be fair. And it wasn't until me and Lana both competed in the same year in 2022, whenever I was kind of joking to you that I would maybe sort of spin everything round, take a break from bodybuilding, go into powerlifting. And we were joking about it. I think we were joking initially. And then it got to a couple of months post-show, started to feel a wee bit lost in just everything, because the show didn't really go the way I wanted to go. Like, obviously, you show up for some good placings, and it shouldn't be about that, but sometimes it is.
Yeah.
And just found myself a bit lost. Rebounded out of the show pretty well, but just no clear direction there. And that's whenever I was always like, I'm a firm believer that if you are a coach yourself, you need to be coachable. You need to know what it's actually like to have a coach. It's kind of sparked my interest going into the whole powerlifting realm, just to learn different aspects and different angles of everything. Because I'm a firm believer that powerlifting, strength-based training has its own place in bodybuilding and vice versa. So it's only going to be a benefit in many different avenues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. And fair play to you, man, for prepping yourself, because you did do really well in them shows, and that's not just like you backing yourself up. You really did. Like, you got in some sick shape. I remember that day.
Yeah.
That was It was the conversation of the whole day was, hereby he could be starting powerlifting. Like, that's mad. Hold on a minute. We'll wait to see if this happens. So to you were joking about. To me, I was like losing sleep. I was like, that could be cool. That would be fast to see that transition over. Like, so it happened.
And it was cool. I actually a couple of weeks ago was looking back at the powerlifting days, and I was like, it was a pretty fun era. It was fun just walking around, like just big, wee bit chunky, but just strong as fuck.
100%. Yeah, 100%. You were definitely walking around the most aesthetic in every warm-up room that you were ever in. That's the plus of it. Like, you know what I mean?
That's what matters. At the most slicked hair as well.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So yeah, you prepped. The goal was just right. Let's get into a bit of powerlifting. Let's see what went on. And whenever you started off with myself, obviously the goal was specific powerlifting. But like, I suppose, like, what were those first few weeks like compared to everything before? Or like, I suppose, like, what maybe what was it? What you expected? What surprised you the most? Or
it actually did. It blew me away. So obviously you do the two months upfront initial payment, right? But by the end of the first month, I was like, I should be paying this fucker more. You know, because like you blew me away in the first few weeks, just the attention to detail on, you know, execution and stuff like that, which is something that I never really had before. Like, just coaching myself, you're always going to take a wee bit of emotion into it with your decisions and everything like that. And you know, just having a second eye on thing, it just made everything matter so much more, because those small wee pieces set you up for a stronger runway of progression ahead.
100%, big time. Absolutely, man. And that's, you know what, I'm going to just use this clip now whenever anybody inquires of VICI. I'm like, so this is why I charged 12 months up front, because Gaz said when he came on board, I probably should have started.
Just put me on the yearly rate every month. It's all right.
Fire me on that. Fire me on. Do you do that decade rate? Fire me on that 10 year at a time. There's only one spot left, like, but I'll get you signed up. Oh man, that's going to be the fitness industry in 2039. Like, just mark my words.
That's
but,
what I'm making the money.
Oh, 100%, man. Yeah. So you came on a VICI, everything was good. I want to know what your one favorite thing, I suppose, about my coaching is, or was, or, you know, just the one thing. Like, a lot of people kind of, could be communication, could be the calls, could be the coaching, the execution, could be anything. Like, what are 1 to 2 things that you just think, like, even as coach, where you're going through them weeks or months, like, no, this is top notch stuff here. Like,
biggest thing for me is just having a sense of direction there. You know, like road mapping the rest of the year out, knowing exactly where you're going, why you're going there. You know, and you're never like, basically the way me and you run it is you tell me what to do and I just go fucking do it. So It's like, if it was me on my own, as I said, you would have some emotion to decisions. And like, for example, in my prep last year, you know, that was the most proactive I've ever been in a prep, because we knew what we had to lose. And there were some weeks where I was like, I'm dropping pretty well here. And you were like, right, fucking, let's take the next step up. And we were always staying proactive with every decision we were making, which is, you know, if it was me, those decisions might have been made a few weeks too late. And, you know, the conditional show day wouldn't have been the same.
Yep, absolutely, man. I think anyone who's serious about their training, whether it's powerlifting or bodybuilding, we're only going to talk about that because that's really the only thing we care about, right? Not dissing out on anything else, like, but we're not into anything else. But I think anybody that's serious about their training in that regard, they do know the burden that comes with, like, decision fatigue, they call it. You know, it's like whenever you have all these decisions, you have things going off. You know, you have multiple loose ends, whether sleep, stress, lifestyle, and training, and then you got maybe an ache or a pain. Like, you're juggling a lot of just stress and fatigue through making decisions and trusting yourself that is the best decision. That's also something I can relate to too, because I don't trust myself, especially right now after the couple of years that I've had. Like I said to my coach straight up, it's like, why is the reason you come on? I'm like, I just don't trust myself. I know I don't trust myself to do what's needed to do to get me back to where I want to be. And I think that's even exaggerated more so when you're on 150 grams of carbs, when you're near 90 odd kilo of pure muscle. You know what I mean? Like, you're already going to be brain farting every day. So you don't need that extra. So it's like definitely one of those things where it's like, it just takes that stress off. And even that drop in stress and cortisol that you get from someone being there and making those decisions is enough to bring the physique up that teeniest. It's the 1%, but like the 1% matter if you're ticking the 99, and if everything
Yeah.
else is locked
Like,
in, that's where that all matters. So I can relate to that big time.
Right now, in like a bit more of a relaxed state. Like I'm not in a competition prep or anything like that, but having the right boxes there for me to tick is, it's a reward system. I'm not sitting here trying to do as much cardio or get a massive PB every week. I'm just ticking the right boxes that you've set me, so that I don't really have to think about it, because like I'm a big believer that like coaching is just delegating. Like there's a lot of things I could do on my own, but it's like I've my own clients to deal with. So like if you just tell me what to do, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So it's almost just stress management as much as anything else. I don't have to think about things.
Yeah, 100%. And that actually is so valid, because I had a conversation about in regards to this. I had a conversation something similar to this with a client recently who was running a thing called Juggernaut AI, which is Juggernaut training systems or powerlifting. They do an AI, they have an app and all, and there's lots of powerlifters and lifters out there even using like the hypertrophy app with RP, Mike Israel, and people are like using like apps and AI in place of coaching. But like everything you've just talked about there is stuff that AI can't do, right? Yeah. Everything we haven't once talked about metrics or once talked about volume and training and stuff that AI can do. We've talked about everything that it can't do. We've talked about that human connection, that element of taking the decision away, having someone to be accountable to. Like all of that is human-led stuff. Not even that's what we were talking about before this podcast. Like as coaches, we've been talking about like this last couple of years, like the AI surge has been booming. And like as a coach, like there's a couple of real practical applications maybe for like certain things, but ultimately it's too easy in any way to get tucked down that rabbit hole of going over the top with it, and a lot of coaches are, which we've talked about, and that would take away from everything you've just talked about. You know what I mean? Like that's where.
And the thing is, like I don't know, like for the past 100 years, you've always been able to find out what you need to find out. Like you could learn how to make a fucking spaceship if you want, if you read in a couple of books, but like that's always been available. And if you were going to make a fucking spaceship, you would have made a fucking spaceship. And it's the same with people. Say if you're going into a competition prep, like the information's always been there. ChatGPT has just made it easier to find, but that doesn't mean he's going to show up and say, right, we need to fucking do this. Like you're going to open that ChatGPT, give me my calories, give me a meal plan. You'll look at it once and you won't fucking do it again. Like
you'll not. 100%. Definitely not, man. Like that's and people will learn that through experience. That's it. Like I said, that fella had come on with me after using Juggernaut AI for a year. It's like, it just isn't working. I'm like, no shit, man. That app doesn't give a shit about you. It doesn't, you know what I mean? I'm not even thinking about you, like, when you got a sore leg, like, it doesn't sit there. Yeah. It's not dwelling. It's not losing sleep over thinking that you're not okay, which a good coach should be doing. So I absolutely agree, man. Big time.
That blows my mind that, like people can use AI for some to learn a bit, but it's never going to put it into action for you,
No, you got to walk the trenches, man. You got to be there. You got to be walking the trenches. You got to earn your stripes. You got to personal train. You got to get that's never for an ever growing industry. What it takes to be a good coach is never going to change. I think AI and all these systems is what's going to take a good coach and make them efficient. It's not going to make them a better coach. It's just going to make them a more efficient coach. That's it.
Yeah.
But you have to be a good coach in the first place by doing the same things that we've done 10 years ago. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And so like even outside of the progress side of things, like just physically having that human connection is massive. Like say if you weren't making any progress, at least you've had somebody to talk to today. And some people need that,
Oh, huge, man. It's a big reason why I choose my coach, and it's a big reason how I coach is because I receive great coaching, and I'm like, right, I want to mimic similar coaching styles. And it's like, I know this works. I know how valuable this makes me feel. So it's like, I want to do that for the people that are under me. And like, I've had bad coaching as well, which is, I think it's also really good to get, because it really opens your eyes up to like, no, maybe not. Like I had a coach a couple of years ago, and the communication was a once a week email, and that was it. So it's like, you submit everything to them. They'll get back to you via an email once a week. And I'm just like, no, I can't do this. Like you don't feel valued. It doesn't matter. It's like there's just no human connection there. It's like being able to WhatsApp somebody that has a WhatsApp photograph of them And that, things like that, it's just like, no, I'm talking to someone
Yeah.
here, who really cares. Like, that's a big part of it.
And even like the emotional aspect of it, like I've had some guys recently and they're just blown away by me actually caring, and you're the same with me. They're blown. They've never had anyone care as much about them as themselves. And some guys do get quite emotional, but I think that gives us, the reason why we keep doing it.
Yeah, 100%. And I said that on Pete's podcast there that I was on last week because we were talking about it. Was talking about, like, I forget what the question was, but essentially my response was in place of like having a really good coach. And I mentioned, like, I feel sorry for the serious lifters out there that don't get to experience what it's like having a good coach. So if you're a serious lifter and you give a shit and you really care about your lifting, your craft and your progression, like us too, like the feeling that you get from having a coach in your corner there, like, and not just to deliver you your nutrition and your training, it's like a coach is there too, and that they're there on more layers than one. They're there on a deeper level, and that feeling itself is enough to be like, no, that alone is enough to get that freaking progress, the needle moving forward, is to give you that kick up the ass to get you in, get you training. It's I feel sorry for people that don't get to experience that, but like you said, people come on board with you, they feel it straight away. People come on board with me, it's like, right, this is different. I'm like, yeah, but unfortunately we are the 5% minority in a very saturated industry. But I don't mind that. A lot of coaches don't like that the industry is so saturated, and like, I didn't like it for a long time until I started to realize that, no, this just helps a Ferrari stand out amongst a load of courses. So it's like, it's a good thing to me, and I want my the people that work with me at VICI, I want them to feel as though they're driving a Ferrari and not a Corsa. I want them to feel like, and look around and be like, thank God I'm here and not X, Y, and Z, or not there. I want them to feel like they're part of something that's like, whoa, this is really good. If you can deliver someone that, it gives them a sense of security, it gives them a sense of like achievement, even like straight off the back, just knowing that you're there. And again, this is all stuff that's come through experience with me being with my coaches, because I feel the same thing. So I think that's a big thing too. Is like, I always tell people, like, I coach my people that work with me the way I would expect to be coached. That's a big thing. Like, you would see a lot of coaches coaching their clients, their lifters, whatever, but it's, they're doing things that they would never do themselves, or they haven't done themselves, or there's no experience doing themselves. And that is, it's just not good, because it's just not stuff that they don't stand behind that. They don't walk that. And I feel that's a big thing.
Yeah. I've actually made a big point of that with myself this year. Like, I've had a couple of people coming to me for things that I haven't put myself in those shoes for. And I've turned away easily maybe 7-8 people this year because I can't help you, And I've heard of some coaches, fucking just literally using ChatGPT to make their client marathon prep and shit like that. And I'm like, how can you actually have your heart in the game, like, and get on with that,
Mental. No, like you said, I've referred out a lot of times this year as well, and you've referred one to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's the same thing. It's like, there you go. Like, there is so much, like, a great. The better you get at coaching, the more you realize you don't know it all, and the more you realize that, right, one of the best tools you have is to refer out. It's like, that is professional. Like, that is one of the red flags of a coach, is someone that can do it all. It's like, if they can,
it shows as well you are caring. Like, if you're a coach that does that, you care about the person, and they haven't even paid you. They're offering to pay you, but you're not taking it because it's not right for them. So, I mean, I think that stands out with good coaches.
Yeah, most coaches, again, people in it for the wrong reasons, would just take that money and run, and they wouldn't give a shit.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's it. And especially at VICI now too, like, I have such a criteria for people that I work with. Not in like a big hard, like, oh, you have to X, Y, and Z. It's, it's people person, people skills, what type of, your goals, the type of community and environment that you want to be around. Like, it all dictates whether or not it's going to work at VICI. Like, and I've got this stage now where it is just like, right. And yourself, the people you want to work with, and you get that straight away. It's like, if I can't help you, my goal is to be like, I'll make sure I get you in the best hands possible. That's number one. I actually said it in the start of the call. It's like, right, so just to make sure here, like, going to just cover everything. And it's not even a sales call. That's what I talk about all the time. It's like, I do not do a sales call. I literally just do a consultation to get to know somebody. And the first thing I say is like, right, if I can't help you by the end of this, I'm going to give you 3 or 4 contacts before we leave this call to keep you in the right hands. And even at the end of a call, I'll be like, right, I'm going to email across, all my coaching information. I'll let you know what the score is and you can let me know if you want to proceed. So it's never anything on like serious on a call. No pitches at the end or anything. It's just, here's what the training's like. Here's what the coaching's like. Let me know a bit more about you. And then from there, you can make that decision. Like,
yeah,
absolutely. So another question is, now leading on from that, you've been with, coaching at VICI for a very long time. If a mate were sat in front of you right now and they were considering signing up at VICI, what would you tell them? Like, who do you think VICI is genuinely for? What's the response in that?
Purely direction, and bring it back to the basics: direction, accountability, and the structure behind everything. So
having that roadmap.
Whether that's like the wee guy I sent to you, he was going to come to me for powerlifting, and I don't really coach powerlifting anymore, just no interest in it. And I knew he was a young guy, and like that's just what I needed. Like, especially young guys, there's no point in spending your first few years of lifting doing it wrong. Anyone can make noob gains, but those first few years are so precious in the grand scheme of things. And if you're not setting a good foundation from the start, then it's just going to have a knock-on effects in years to come. Whenever it does get harder to, gain strength, or you're getting older or whatever.
Yep. Oh, absolutely, man. 100%. Couldn't agree anymore. Yep. And then right, final one. It's the favorite one. This is a funny one. Like, do you have any hot takes? Do you have anything in your brain that you want to just put out to the world from a coaching standpoint, from a training standpoint, from a bodybuilding standpoint, whatever it might be?
Probably everything we just said there, to be honest. In terms of, like, there's people not having their heart in the game. People would gladly take somebody on, shout out a ChatGPT program for them, with no real backing behind any of it. And then, the coaches that, it's just not, like, they're not covering all aspects. They're not covering the human side of it. It's data on the screen, and they're going, right, this is good, don't do that. Like, they're not actually meeting the person where they are. And understanding their situation properly. Like, there's only so many times you can say, let's get it, mate. Like,
yeah. You don't need, that's it. Like, you do not need a yes man in your corner. Like,
I've had a really hard week here. All right, just do better next week.
Yeah, 100%. Fuck that. No, that happens way too often. Like, and that's another thing too. My hot take is, and I had this saved, like, I'm going to put a hot take in the Aussies. My hot take is fast response coaching, and how it's not what people brag about fast response coaching nowadays.
Right,
it's always this thing where it's like, and it's even like, oh no, I get back straight away, because like, if I'm a full-time coach, like, I should be able to get back to you straight away. It's like, holy shit, like, not one of the best coaches I've ever had have ever got back to me straight away or had that type of communication style. Number one, it shows, like, professionally that you do not have any boundaries as a coach, and you need that to actually have a life that you enjoy. Like, if I have 30 to 40 people who are texting me on a single day and I know I have to get back in 5 minutes, what type of life is that? Secondly, I've tried the fast replies before. I've tried that 5 to 10 minute response times whenever I went fully online 2 years ago, and I tell you, it stopped within a month. I got back to everyone. I was like, nope, this is shit, because I can't reply in any way I want to. So I tell people now, it's like, I have a variety of communication styles. I have a 24-hour communication limit, as in, like, I will always get back in the day. But some things require a little bit more thought and attention than, and you actually have to sit down and think about it. Like, I'm not, there's a lot of texts where I like look at it and be like, no, that requires a bit more care and communication. So I'm going to leave that till tomorrow morning and get back to that person, whereas like,
I'm the exact same. Like, I've tried the fast response things, and then it's like, I'd be sending voice notes, and then it would come to making an adjustment, and I'm like, what did I say to him? Because say if I was just walking, or I was in the gym, it's like, I can't remember. Like, I like things. I like sitting down, getting everything organized, going on one foot, changing whatever needs to be done, and going from there. And it's like, that's actually probably I'm very similar to you in the sense that I always try to get back to somebody within 24 hours because I like sitting down and just having it. Like why would I give you a shit reply fast when I could give you something that's actually going to be meaningful within 24 hours, you know?
Exactly. And that's what I found. My communication quality dropped when the quantity went up. So it's like, it's not worth it. And I've been on the back end of both, and I didn't like the quick one either. It just wasn't as good. Whereas now, you know, in a little bit longer communication style, it also teaches autonomy. It teaches, you know, it teaches an athlete to take responsibility. It teaches an athlete not to be emotional. I find whenever, you know, you're training and you text the coach and you get an instant reply, or you're looking at an instant reply and you're sitting in the corner waiting on an instant reply. It's like, that's emotion-driven communication. You're not in the right headspace to do that. It's like, no, take the emotion out of it, teach that responsibility, give them a toolkit and educate them on what they can do in the moment instead of having to baby them the whole way through. And they will appreciate that more as well. You can also run your business a lot more efficiently long-term. It can scale better. The boundaries are set for you and your family or whatever it is you have going on, but people appreciate that. People don't appreciate, you know, quicker rushed replies, and that's usually what it was. So I'm big now on the 24-hour. Like I'll get back within 24 hours when you send it. If it requires if it requires some thought, it could take it's going to take the longer ladder of that. If it's something quick, I get back straight away. So there's no real in between. Like, but yeah, 100%. That's
one thing I hate about voice notes is I don't know what I'm in for. You know, you can't just take a wee quick glance because it could be a quick response, and then you're like, no, I'm going to sit down and actually see this here.
This is why again, that's another thing I implemented in my business a month or two ago. You'll see in the chat that I put that thing in. I was like, right, guys, here's the changes. No more voice notes that on anything that's important or requires me to think training related in any way, because it just doesn't work. Again, if you've 30 to 40 athletes sending you 5-minute voice notes, what the fuck are you going to do with that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't work. It's not going to work. The more precise you can be, and again, like I have a nutrition coach now, Austin Stout. He is a fantastic coach, one of the best in the bodybuilding industry at the minute. And his communication style is so, like, you know, you keep things precise, you keep it bullet pointed. If you can't explain it in a sentence, you need to find a way to do it that will help you communicate better. Like, that's something I've been, you know, putting into my own athletes as well. I'm like, you know, because I'm learning this from experience. It's like, if you can't communicate what you want to in a couple of bullet points, then your communication can improve. So I'm going to help you improve your communication skills. And that's what I'm going through at the minute. So it's like, you know, it's precise, it's bullet point, it's tell me what's not working, tell me what is, and we'll get straight to what works instead of beating around the bush. So it's like, it's the way forward. Like, you'll get better coaching, you'll enjoy it more. Responses will be quicker too. You know, if I get a 7-minute voice note, that thing's sitting till tomorrow. Like, I don't that's 100% sitting. Whereas if I get something that's prompt or a 30-second voice note, you have me. You got me there now.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Thanks.
Well, unbelievable, guys. That is us wrapping up. I appreciate you for coming on. I appreciate you dropping some bombs, being honest. It's been a good conversation, man. It's just been good to hear about it all and touch on a little bit of the VICI while we were at it. So appreciate you coming on, bye.
Happy days. I'm keen for plenty more of these in the future. This was pretty fun.
Absolutely. We'll get some in-person ones done. A platform when we open the gym in the next month or two. We're going to have a podcast studio set up, like proper all in. All in, you know what I mean?
All in.
I'll put your logo up if you want. You can buy it in the podcast part if you want to.
Yeah. All right, I'll get you a hoodie.
Unreal, bye. Well, anyway, appreciate you guys.
Thank you, my man. Hey, that was really fucking good.